This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, LowcoSports fans. Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Marcus Walsh with you on take two. Somebody didn't push a button. They moved a bunch of stuff around in the StreamYard. It's all different now, and somebody didn't push a button. And
manual error.
And I was like, oh, do over. But here we are. Max may join us a little bit later on, but the three of us for now. But we will have a guest very shortly. Joe Naughton is going to join us if he hasn't fallen asleep. He said it's past his bedtime. The coach of the 8U Bluffton softball team that's headed out to the World Series in Tioga, Louisiana, starting Thursday. They'll be getting into action less than a week from now. So hopefully we'll be able to get Joe on tonight and talk with him about that experience and that group of girls. But I titled it The Joe Show because sadly, happily we have Joe Naughton joining us. Sadly, Joe Monmonier, our good friend and colleague, has left us. And if you're connected to the sports community in this area, you've probably heard the news by now through social media and the outpouring of folks who had something positive to say about Joe. And it was just shocking news to get the other day. First, it was kind of a rumor, like, hey, did you hear something about Joe Monmonier? And then it escalated pretty quickly. And I had confirmation a little before you got the word, Marcus. I had shared it privately with Wes. And
I got you.
But yeah, it was tough news, tough to swallow. Joe Monmonier has been around here a long time.
It was shocking when you first heard about it because still in his early 50s and so much more time that we thought he had left to continue to live such a great, empowering life. But most importantly, the legacy that he has left on this school, and most importantly for me, the kids, the student athletes that he touched during his time here at Hilton Head High. He elevated this athletic program to new heights during his tenure. You just look at all that he did with the additions and the achievements, but most importantly, the friendships that he made with not just the student athletes, the coaches, but the entire community.
Yeah.
He bonded around everyone in this area, and his impacts were felt not just here at Hilton High School, but in the Low Country and in the state. I mean, he was someone who was recognized statewide as someone who did his job not just extremely well, but gave all his effort and then some to helping these kids succeed, not just on the field, on the court, etc., but in terms of preparation for life. And just a tremendous mentor, tremendous leader. And I mean, just we're all devastated when we heard that news. Someone who made just so many incredible impacts in the Low Country, all of a sudden, tragically, no longer with us. I mean, I was just absolutely stunned to see that news.
I got the news, and I was thinking that I may have been one of the first, and maybe I was, that got the news around, what time was it, Wednesday? About 6:30, maybe about 7 o'clock. And as soon as I got it from Lisa Richardson, I sent it out to you guys because I wasn't sure if you guys knew. Obviously, JJ, you just mentioned that you were scouring through, and obviously
3:37 p.m. was when I had it confirmed and let Wes know.
Gotcha. Sending it to Wes, of course, and you guys knew Joe better than I, but I had a chance to know Joe
did.
Without question. I had a chance to know Joe really ever since I stepped on foot on the Hilton Head campus for the first time back in 2014. When I covered the All-American football camp for the first time. I've said this story a lot. That's how
I remember when
Kevin
he came to town to be the lacrosse coach.
There you go.
I had to go find this new guy and learn how to say his name.
Right. The one thing of many that I will say about Joe, and I will definitely be there Monday night to remember him and to celebrate his life. Not only was he a great mentor to a lot of folks, not only was he a great teacher and educator and great to us in the media, which is how I knew him best. I also knew him certainly with him setting up the broadcast booth for me doing Gator football for the first 5 or 6 years that I did that. And I, again, plan on doing that again this year because they're bringing it back, as I mentioned earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't find many more just great gentlemen like Joe Monmonier in this area. And that's saying something, but I have never heard anybody say a bad word about Joe.
No.
I know that he was all about business, of course. Very reserved.
He ran a tight ship.
Yes, very reserved. Occasionally he would crack a smile, but he was all about business. It showed on the field. It showed on the court. It showed in the classroom. And he was always just so great to us. He went above and beyond thanking my crew and I for being at the multitude of football games and basketball games that we have covered over the years, especially since I've been doing it with WHHI TV. And just a really, really special guy. And I wish that I would have had a chance to get to know him better. Especially because of this news.
I had the pleasure of knowing him very well throughout. I think all the way back to like when I started high school, because he was a classroom teacher at one point, or at least he was teaching, but he was also the lacrosse coach, the boys lacrosse coach before.
That's how he started.
He became the AD, I believe, in 2012, and from that point on, I really grew to know him through being an student athlete, but also with my duties doing public address announcing during my high school times. And then, of course, I continued to know him as I began working with you, JJ, and always a smile on his face and just always greeted me when I saw him. When I was going to a game, when I was going to a signing, he was always there to greet me, and not just me, but the community members there. And it just really displayed a love for what he did. And, that rubbed off on everyone in the school, and everyone had a sense that they were doing whatever was expected of them, whether it was on the field or on basketball courts or on the track or whatever it was. Joe Monmonier was a great example of, in a way, so many different qualities that these student athletes want to pride themselves on, because he motivated every single one of them. He was a tremendous leader, example setter, and someone who just continued to give incredible inspirations for everyone that he came across. And you just look back throughout my time and what he did throughout a number of years for so many programs in that school. He ran it very well, and you could see the impact. You could see based on the results.
It's a hard job, and he seemed to do it with ease.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's a very difficult. Being an athletic,
pretty unflappable.
There are so many
you
different
never
hats.
saw him sweat.
There are so many different hats
right.
that you have to wear as an AD, and it seemed like he was adamant about doing every single one. And whether he was out there at a game, or I just see him in the hallway making a call, or doing something as duties as needed for the school. Just such a great ambassador and leader. I think that's the best way to describe it. And someone who, most importantly, you talk about what he did in his professional career. One of highly regarded as one of the best athletic directors in the state of South Carolina, and I believe he was rewarded or awarded for that at some points, or at least certainly named to a short list of some of the best. But I think what you remember Joe Monmonier the most by are the impacts that he leaves behind on the student athletes who have gone on to college and beyond that.
Yeah.
Let me hit pause there, so because we do have a guest waiting for us in the green room, but we will pick it up and talk more about Joe Monmonier, remembering the late Hilton Head High athletic director, as the show goes on here. But the show tonight presented by Mickelson Law Firm, as usual, our all-star sponsor, our original sponsor with us since the beginning. And Mickelson Law Firm supported us in the beginning because, in large part, of our coverage of youth baseball and softball all-stars in the summer. We were the only people doing it. We're basically the only people covering sports in the area still. Basically, everybody who comes through this little sandbox is the only people doing it. And we got a team that is worthy of our coverage tonight. So Joe Naughton, the coach of the 8U Bluffton softball all-stars, joining us. Longtime friend of mine. Weird for us to meet in this forum, Joe, but
true.
But life works in mysterious ways, and you've gotten really involved with the Bluffton Youth Sports Organization the last few years, and joined the board and gotten your feet wet coaching, and you've had a little success here. Your 8-and-under softball girls going to Louisiana for the World Series. I went on my own magical run with an 8-and-under group. We only made it to state. But man, there's no more fun age, and to have a little success and see them fall in love with the game, you have to just be having a blast right now.
Over the moon. I can't, I still have trouble putting in the words exactly the emotions I've gone through over the last couple of weeks, us and the coaching staff and the entire team, all the parents, the families. It's just been amazing. I say this to everybody. I said, if you probably would have given me money to bet while sitting in that dugout in the losers bracket, I would have bet against us. And now I've understood that there's no way to sell these girls short. So it's been remarkable.
Coach, first of all, congratulations on getting the opportunity to play the World Series. Just describe the opportunity to, I think the most special thing about this opportunity for you guys in this upcoming event is you get to play not just for your home town of the Low Country but you are representing the whole state as Team South Carolina. So talk to me about what that honor means to you as you guys get ready to compete in this World Series.
It's almost indescribable, to be honest with you, right? It was an honor to represent Bluffton as a team, and then to represent our district. But knowing it was an amazing sight when the state tournament director had us up in his office after the tournament state win, and he was measuring the girls. Were getting measured for their uniforms, and he stopped them and said, "Hey, do you realize that you're no longer just representing your town or your district? You're representing the entire state." And every one of them instantly felt how great and large that was.
It's real.
Yeah, it was real. The coaches start to figure out how real it was when we figured out where Tioga, Louisiana was, and we had how much money it would take us all to get there. So
yeah. Speaking of which, I've also been on one of these World Series trips, so I know exactly what you're talking about. You kind of unexpected left turn in your summer right at the end, where you got to figure out how to make all this work logistically. But I know you guys have been humping it with the fundraisers. You've been selling cookies out at the farmers market. Everybody covets a day out in front of the Sam's Club. You always do good out there. But what other fundraiser opportunities you guys having coming up, ways that people can support you on your journey?
We're kind of running down towards the end of it all, right? We still got our Venmo account open, Bluffton-All-Stars 8U. But we also have tomorrow, one of our last remaining events is Played Against Sports has been running a special all week long. On donated materials to them. And then tomorrow will be, they'll donate 10% of all sales tomorrow. The girls will be out front from 1 till 3, collecting donations on the way in and outside the door. Tonight we got rained out on our fundraiser over at Local Pie. But they still end up donating 10% of what they had come in the door tonight. And last night, Moe's did the same thing for us. So
outstanding.
Yeah, our auction just closed. Did pretty well. Probably got 50% of anticipated revenue. So we're getting pretty close to our goal, which is a testament to the community, the families, the investment by the coaches. The town everybody's gotten behind us and allowed us to raise up to take the pressure of the cost off of these families for this, what might be a once in a lifetime trip for these kids.
Really is. And you can attest to that, JJ, for how memorable it was playing in a World Series, Youth World Series. It was obviously Dixie Youth Baseball when you were there a couple years ago in 2021. Right. But you know it very well, JJ, that feeling and the entire experience.
Well, and what he was, they did the same thing. It's probably a regular thing, but they did the same thing with us when they were measuring the boys for their uniforms. They did the same thing about you realize you're South Carolina now, but there ain't no feeling like when you walk out there in the South Carolina jerseys in the opening ceremony and the South Carolina song starts playing, whatever it is. We don't have a good one like Sweet Home Alabama or whatever, but we usually get like James Taylor or something, like North Carolina song.
Rucker or something.
They can't figure out what to do with South Carolina.
Yeah, they let us pick our own walk-up song. I think we settled
did.
Yeah, I think we settled on Sweet Caroline. So yeah.
Okay.
Being a Red Sox fan, it has a lot of meaning for me. So
solid choice. Wes is a fellow afflicted Red Sox fan. You can see his flag up there.
I see the banner in the background. There you go.
But no, Joe, tell us a little bit about this team. Close to my heart because there's a bunch of little sisters of little guys that I've either coached or watched play growing up. So Aisling Mitchell, big fan of her. Big fan of Eliana Blessy.
Yep.
And I'm trying to think of, there's another one I think that I have connection to. But tell me about this squad. They look like they're a juggernaut.
They're some of the sweetest kids you'll ever meet. And they're a little bit challenging in practice because they'll play around a lot in practice. But as a group of girls who hit the field, they have this ability to turn it on, and they absolutely can crush the ball on up top to bottom on the lineup. And our defense is remarkably strong. I don't know how to. These girls have benefited from what has been an intentional act by the, Bluffton Youth Sports investment in softball in the last 4 years. Absolutely. I've coached most of these girls at some point in the last 4 years. They've had the same consistent coaching staffs throughout the rec leagues, and they've continued to put in the work outside to get better and better. It's like I said, at this point, I don't put anything past them. There's a legitimate shot that these girls can go out and beat the teams from the other states. Absolutely.
I mean, there's no quit in them. Like you said, you guys were kind of up against the wall. You were in the losers bracket and had to come back and win several games in a row on that last day to get it done. And they showed some resilience for sure.
Yeah, we hit the losers bracket the second day of the tournament, our third game. We lost to South Spartanburg. We won 2 games on Monday, had to come back Tuesday morning to play South Spartanburg, run ruled them. And then we had to go up against Chester. And if you know softball, the upstate has some strong teams up there. And Chester's one of them. They were reigning state champs. They're 6U1 state this year.
And as a father.
So we, that's okay.
Videos.
So they took care of business. I'll tell you what, I know it. I felt the heat. It was 115-degree heat index. 3 games on Tuesday.
Goodness.
It was a rough day, and those girls outlasted and outplayed Chester.
Wow.
It becomes a battle of attrition at the end of that.
Especially if you get deep in the tournament. I mean, it's about who just plays a little bit more.
About pitching just yet.
Not yet. Yeah, I'm the pitcher, so you do have to worry about pitching.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like saying baseball. I mean, you can rely on a dominant pitcher longer than you can.
No, but he's the pitcher.
That's right. It's
Coach
Pitch.
Pitch.
Yeah.
Coach Pitch. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now that's an interesting dynamic, trying to hit bats. That's a little pressure, Coach.
Yeah. You start to get to know your and I've pitched to a quarter of these girls were on my team this season, so I pitched to them anyway. But I pitched to these girls throughout some of their careers, and after a while, you just get used to where. And at this stage, they're starting to get to the point that if you could just throw it a little bit faster, right, they can hit it a little bit harder. It goes a little bit further. It's
do you kind of know where to put your pitches based on the player coming up? Or like do you do certain amount of girls like in a certain spot?
Yeah, believe it.
And I'll tell you this: they're not afraid to tell you where it is or how fast you should pitch to them. I'll be honest with you. My biggest problem's been I've been hit like 3 times in practice by line drives.
Oh, I remember those days.
Yeah.
Better take some of that fundraising and get you a portable L screen, sir.
Yeah, I know. But
that's good. That's a good problem, though. When they start hitting it hard enough, you can't get out of the way. That's a good problem.
Right. If I can get out of the way, it just means it's a line drive up the middle. So
that's right.
We'll take that all day. Yeah.
So you guys get started, I believe, on Thursday, correct? And it looks like an interesting setup because the first 2 games are pool games, but don't really count in terms of the double elimination bracket. So you get 2 on Thursday and then 1 on Friday, and then we'll see after that, right?
Yeah, it is a different setup than states, which is pure double elimination right from the get-go. So they call it pool games, but like the first game's not attached to the bracket at all. It's almost like a practice game. And then you enter bracket play, but it's really pool play. And then you play another round, and then it starts to count towards double elimination.
Interesting.
Right.
We're guaranteed at least 4 games. I got a feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I understand.
I think that was the design. I think that's the idea. It's just to get a 4-game guarantee.
Yeah.
You're trying to
make the trip.
Right.
It's a real bummer to make that trip and go 2 in a queue.
Yeah. Last year at States, we went 2 and out. It hurt. It was our first time at Dixie Diamond Youth Softball States. It was a noticeable difference from SCAT. So the talent level is different. There's more travel teams that play as rec team all-star teams. So it was a little different look. But I think I'd put our girls up against any team at this point and be comfortable sitting on a bucket in a dugout watching a play.
Heck yeah, man. And you're going to get a little travel team going, aren't you?
Once we practice together for a little while, we realize that the majority of these girls are at the end of their 8U career. So they only get to play 8U to the end of the year. If they played fall rec, they'd have to move up to 10U. And 8U is a really special time of ball. Coach Pitch is action packed, and they get to play a lot. And
it's fun.
So I said, if you all want to try and do this, let's put one together and talk to the Waves organization. They were willing to start an 8U team. I think they had ulterior motives. They knew if I started this 8U team, I could take over the 10U team next. So it's interesting. I started the year out not planning to head coach and not planning to coach, but just enjoy one more year of 8U with my daughter. And I ended up in this position. So God had plans for me I wasn't looking for. So
that's usually how it works out.
Yeah.
You guys have any more questions for Coach Joe?
I just want to say I had a chance to see you guys in action a few weeks ago and am super impressed with your team. That was definitely a fun weekend doing PA for you guys and all the teams before the baseball started there in Bluffton. Good luck this run, and enjoy it, and just best of luck to everybody involved with the team. Really proud of what you've been able to do, Coach.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Unfortunately, I was out of town that week, so I could not see you guys play. But from what I heard, this team has been very impressive from the get-go in these district and into the state tournament and coming out of the losers bracket there to win South Carolina state title. But just talking about how excited these girls are for the opportunity that they have earned to go to Louisiana. I mean, that's a long trip for an 8-year-old kid. I mean, how excited are they to
long way from home?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a fun anticipation to as this gets closer for these young ladies?
Yeah, they're excited. I mean, I get most contact with my daughter. She's really excited. I still don't think it's really hard. It's difficult for them to fathom the gravity of this, the travel to it. You see Louisiana on the map, but you don't really understand how long it takes to get there until a bunch of them get in a car on Tuesday and drive there. And I think
go past a bunch of Buc-ee's.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, and so for most of them, they'll probably stop at each and every one of them.
Yeah. Pack the snack box or whatever. Make sure to bring a lot of snacks on the road.
Yeah, it's a long trip.
I will have to say that the development of these girls is due in large part to an excellent coaching staff. I mean, I am blessed with Ryan and Ryan Yako and Brittany Perry and Catherine Cooler have been outstanding. Every step of the way, fully supportive, and none of this happens without the families. Every single one of them have invested at practice. We show up and we got 3 or 4 extra dads helping out. It's like having a whole extra coaching staff. We worked. One of the things we tried to work really hard on is getting them defensively sound, and because in 8U everybody scores runs. If you can keep a few off the board, you have a better chance.
Stop the snowball.
That's it, right? I call it the quicksand. If you get in the quicksand and you start fighting, you start sinking faster, right? I'm a big replacements football movie fan, so Shane Falco has a lot of quotables. The quicksand is one of them, and they kind of adopt this conversation. I stole it from Ted Lasso, which is be a goldfish. Mm-hmm. And they've really latched on to the fact that whenever they make an error, just be a goldfish and forget about it. And they've done a really good job of it. And they don't allow that snowball, that quicksand to take hold. So,
boy, you're doing yeoman's work if you can get 8-year-olds through that quicksand, because it's still hard at 14 sometimes. We get stuck in it. So, awesome stuff, man. Been awesome to watch you grow into such a great coach and have this team, on the precipice of something really cool. So best luck to you guys out in Louisiana. Folks, support their fundraising efforts, help them ease the burden of their girls being so good at softball. It hits you upside the head sometimes, and you got to go. I mean, your kids made it. You got to go. So Joe Naughton, it's been a pleasure, man.
Thanks,
best
guys.
of luck to you. Before you go, one last thing. Here we go. I saw this today. The mayor shouting you out.
I just want everybody to know that Ashland is representing the town of Bluffton in the World Series. And as a father of daughters that played softball and coaching for years, I could not be prouder. This is such a great accomplishment, and everything anyone can do to help support them or just acknowledge them is greatly appreciated. We love you and great luck. I know you're going to bring home a trophy for Bluffton.
Fantastic.
Mayor Toomer. Awesome.
Give him a good blessings before the World Series. That's fantastic. Right. Coach, we're all super excited and proud of you guys and this team. And, it's a great honor, and make sure to enjoy every pitch, every minute of this, because it is an earned opportunity. It's not given for free. It is very well earned to be playing at this point.
So I plan on doing.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Coach. Take care, and we'll see you on the other side.
All right. Thank you.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Joe Naughton, head coach of the 8 and under Bluffton softball All-Stars, headed to Tioga, Louisiana next week for the World Series, Diamond U Softball World Series. Joe's
very, very cool, and
good while now.
As we said, just tremendous opportunity for those young ladies, and I mean, just proves that goes to show softball is on the rise. It seems year after year around here.
No doubt.
It's alive and well.
Oh my goodness. Sadon Rafaela walks it off.
Oh.
And the Boston Red Sox have now won 8 in a row.
The Sox are hot. Break up the Red Sox. And then they're going to trade Bregman at the deadline. That's what they're saying now. I believe Max Araj has arrived. He's clapping. Max Araj is clapping. What's up, Max Araj?
How's it going?
I just want to say a nice call with the Bregman thing. Love that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they did just say that, right? Like, if they don't get him extended by the deadline, they're going to trade him. After they just traded Rafi, because they brought in Bregman.
Well, I'll tell you, if they continue to play like this, I mean, after the All-Star break,
but I mean,
they got to be aggressive with the deadline. I think they have some more pieces that they could add if they continue. At least, I mean, I don't think you would give Bregman away if they continue to play at this level. Why would you trade? Now, obviously, he hasn't been playing much because he's just been coming back, but they will have some decisions to make if this team continues to overperform. So, now I will say the schedule out of the All-Star break for the Red Sox, they got all three of the leading teams in the National League. They have to play the Phillies, the Cubs, and the Dodgers right after the All-Star break.
Ooh, that is murderer's row.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, they've been known to just give away superstars before. So what could stop them from doing it? You know, I'm just saying. Anyway,
crazy. It's crazy work. But anyway, shouting out some sponsors. We've got a new one, boys and girls. Believe it or not, we got a new sponsor. Thanks to our friend Jeff Riley. He brought us a new sponsor, Twinge and Twombly from Beaufort. Their personal injury law firm. Rare name, remarkable service with Twinge and Twombly. You see the fellow there on the right, Ashley Twombly. That is Jeff Riley's neighbor, and Jeff Riley appeared at the neighborhood 4th of July celebration in full Uncle Sam costume, and he talked to Mr. Twombly and came away with a sponsorship. So there you go. We got a new sponsor thanks to Jeff. Twinge and Twombly. So if you need personal injury law over in Beaufort in particular, that's the name to go for. Rare name, remarkable service. Twinge and Twombly. Fun to say, Twinge and Twombly.
Yeah.
Say that 6 times fast. We also have Hudson Seafood House on the Docks, the presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. New episodes every Monday night on the Lowco Media Network. And Hudson Seafood House on the Docks is a great place for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. And those sunsets have been bussing lately, right?
Yeah.
We've had some beautiful sunsets when it's not a torrential rainstorm at sunset time. We've had a few of those too. Biblical storms every afternoon.
We've had a lot of rain since April.
It's
been pouring down these last few days,
and it's been coming up fast. And like the lightning involved has been serious. But we're getting through it. We also have Hilton Head Furniture. This Tola family brings great handcrafted furniture down from Hickory, North Carolina, to sell to you to keep in your home for a long time. Quality furniture from Hilton Head Furniture. And then also HHI Windows and Doors. Coach Barron and his team, he's out of the basketball coaching game. Now he's into windows and doors. If you want to improve your view of the Low Country, call on the team at HHI Windows and Doors. So those are some of our sponsors. We're looking for new sponsors for the new season of LowcoSports. You know, we run on the school year season basically here because that's kind of the main bread and butter. So we're firing it up for another round, and we are a month and 4 days, boys, away from high school football games that count.
Indeed.
August 15th is when we start.
Is Alton Prep playing that day?
They are. They're at JP2.
I was going to say, I think they got JP2.
Ooh.
And then you've also got a let's see, where'd it go? You've got
I know there's
the schedules, the composite schedule on LowcoSports.com. You got HHC at Porter-Gaud, Carlton Prep at JP2, BA at Hilton Head Prep in the Afternoon Delight, and schools at Kings Academy.
Great.
So you could theoretically do a doubleheader opening night at Hilton Head Prep and JP2 and see 4 Lowco teams.
Heck yeah. Who's Prep playing? Sorry, I missed that.
BA.
Ooh, how about that?
Great one.
That should be a good one. That should
You said that the composite schedule JJ is on the Lowco
Yeah,
site?
I posted it on LowcoSports this morning, as a matter of
Okay,
fact.
I got the majority of it earlier in the week, but I didn't get everybody, so I'll be taking a look
I'm
at that
pretty
too.
sure that's got every
We're gonna
game
have a lot of
except
games on
for
WHHI, but I will have some time.
there's one
to
game on Hilton
look at
Head Prep schedule. Christian Academy Myrtle Beach is going to be one of 2 dates, and I'm not sure which. That's the only one I'm not sure about. I think everything else should be good to go. So until we get a hurricane, you know, throws everything. We get one rain out week.
Yeah,
one rain out week, and we're hosed. But you know how that
is Skis doing the thing he did last year with the universal bye week?
It doesn't seem like it.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like it. Okay. There's Skiza games scheduled every weekend.
Every week. Okay, that's what it should be.
That's the way I saw it.
Yeah.
To this point.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like they have games scheduled every week. No universal bye week.
Okay.
So
good decision.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Max, we did have some conversation on it earlier, but I'm sure that that there may be more to be said on the sudden and devastating loss of Joe Monmonier, the longtime AD at Hilton Head High School. As I was saying earlier, I first met him as the lacrosse coach when he came to town to take over that program. And I was working at the Packet, and, we had to get to know this new lacrosse coach and all that stuff. And, he was a lacrosse guy from Baltimore who knew more about lacrosse than anybody here combined, at the time. I think that kind of rubbed some people the wrong way a little bit. They took it the wrong way. But certainly nobody became more appreciated and beloved in the high school sports community in this region than Joe, in the sense that every AD looked to him as a mentor and a non-judgmental peer that you could always turn to with a question or a concern or for advice. And I know I reached out to BJ Payne yesterday, and he's obviously just devastated. Those guys have worked hand in hand for many, many years now. And it was Coach Bichkowski who confirmed the news to me. It was actually our friend Ned Mullis, Coach Mullis, who heard the news through another friend and asked me about it. And I asked Coach Beach, and she confirmed it. So, just devastating news, especially for, you guys are a little younger than I am, but I'm 47, and I haven't seen Joe's exact age, but I know he was in his early 50s.
Early 50s.
52
from what I.
52 is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's what Lisa was saying to me, Lisa Richardson. So,
no, I mean, just hearing it, 52 is very young.
Very young.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary because you just never know. And you just
and Joe had some health scares in the past.
Don't take every year for granted. That's basically what it boils down to. And
he had some health scares. Sorry to interject.
Mark Winnick says 54.
He had some health scares, and I believe he had some pretty good health scares that he beat.
He did.
Yeah.
He had. Yeah. He did have
and
some
not that long
issues.
ago.
Well, there may have even been a cancer scare, I want to say.
That was the one. I'll say, because you just mentioned
a little over a year ago, I want to say.
Stomach cancer, about a little over a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
He ended up taking time off. I remember it specifically because we were getting ready to call a game there. I forget which, but maybe against May River. And all of a sudden, Jeremy got an email that Joe was out, and we were all like, what's going on? And we found out about it, and then he took
Mark
some
Renix
time.
again says throat cancer 2 years ago. Time moves weird now since COVID.
It does. That must have been.
I knew it was at the start of the school year.
So he went through that and came out on the other side. But yeah, you never know.
Yeah, and it's hard.
On the other hand,
it is hard, and I I was a student at Hilton Head Christian, but I knew who he was because I had gotten to know him over time, knowing a lot of students from Hilton Head High School at the time, and I got to know him as a person, and what a fantastic person he was, and just a really valuable member of Hilton Head High School. I mean, he was there for 2 decades. And 13 of those years, athletic director. And so it's really hard. And I did read. I was reading a little more on it today, just to get an idea. And it's just a sad situation. And the worst part is a lot of these students who know him so well and have known him so well for the past few years being at Hilton Head High School now are basically a month away from going back to school, and knowing you're going back to school and the athletic director you've known your entire time at Hilton Head High School won't be there at the start of the year. And it's really hard. I do want to push out that I did read further into it that if there are any students from Hilton Head High School that are watching tonight, just know there will be counselors at the school for the next few weeks if you need to talk to someone, because it is a situation where you might need to talk with someone. Trust me. I've seen this situation before, and it's never pretty. It's always very difficult to deal with. And so, again, if there's anyone who may be watching and is a student at Hilton Head High School and, had worked or have been a student under the athletic programs that, Joe had run, please go speak with someone. If you need help, it's vitally important, especially in a situation like this.
Absolutely.
But that goes for everyone.
Yeah, he was a special person. And he really drove the Hilton Head High School athletic programs to the next level and really put them on a path towards the future. And there's not many athletic directors that were like him, and
I believe his first year as AD was also BJ Payne's first year as the football coach.
That's right.
That would not surprise me.
I believe that's right, because the guy before him had one job.
Yeah. And
if you know, you know.
The funny thing is I was reading on WJCL had an article regarding Joe that came out either today or late yesterday. And they were talking about how in his first year as athletic director, he wouldn't hesitate to call other athletic directors within the area for advice, and for help. And that shows.
He'd be the first to tell you he didn't know what he was doing when he took over.
Right. That shows he really
to an AD.
Right.
Yeah.
But that also showed he wanted to become the best possible athletic director.
Oh yeah,
he was.
High school could ask for, and he really did. He really became that kind of person.
He had it nailed down, man. I mean, he ran a tight ship, and he could rub people the wrong way sometimes because he was just very direct.
I mean, he was serious as he needed to be about this role, and I thought he managed it very well. I mean,
I thought he was
as well as you could.
He was also, I came across this, back in 2016, he was named to the Limestone College Hall of Fame.
Oh, how about that?
And he was one of the first shutdown goalkeepers in Limestone men's lacrosse history. Was a 2-time USILA All-American honorable mention selection. So had a really great career.
And the Limestone's lacrosse page on their social media accounts had sent out a really cool tribute of Joe and his time as someone who was with Limestone in terms of their lacrosse program. So if you want to go check that out, please feel free to do so. A really, really cool tribute.
Just such a kind individual, someone that loved helping out as I mentioned earlier, and as I alluded to. I think what we really remember from what Joe did was not just himself rising to the level that he did as AD and contributing to the total success of the school, but you look at the lasting impacts on so many young adults who have done outstanding things beyond Hilton High and the students there now and into their college careers. I mean,
yeah.
I think part of an athletic director, it's just like a coach. It's not just I mean, it's more than just building and helping coaches to build successful teams and manage athletic programs. You're setting up these kids, these student athletes, for success at the high school level, but also more importantly beyond. And you can just go down the list of these kids who not just signed to play at the most prestigious college universities in the country, but go on beyond that to do fantastic things. And I remember all the signing days. I remember all the signing ceremonies and how much he loved that.
He did a great job with signing days.
He always made the kids, talk about why they chose this school and going into what the decision entailed for them, and he knew that was a moment for those kids to really soak in what they have earned.
Well, the best part is what he did over his 13 years in terms of building programs at
you
high
look
school.
at the soccer program, you look at cross country.
I was about to
mention what Coach Payne did for that football program. With guys like Puna Ford.
I was about to mention, Wes, the cross country and the track and field programs that he helped build. Yeah. And those cross country programs became the staple of South Carolina because I can't remember a time when they weren't winning a state championship in cross country. I mean, he helped alongside the coaching staff for the cross country team. He helped build a powerhouse of a cross country program at Hilton Head High School, and was a powerhouse and still is to this day.
Yeah. And I don't have the number with me, but I'm sure they won at least around 3 or 4 Carlisle Cups, especially around the 2012 to 2015 range. They were winning a bunch. I think they may have won it like every year when I was there, at least 3 out of the 4 years. And they kept winning after I graduated. Now, speaking of the Carlisle Cup, we heard that I saw the final standings for 4, just on the side. We had 4 teams from Region 6 4A finish in the top 10 in the Carlisle Cup. May River, I believe, led the way in 3rd, Bluffton in 8th, and Monmonier's Hilton Seahawks in 5th this past season. Bishop England number 1. So 4 teams, 4 schools from this region, all in the top 10 in the Carlisle Cup. So that's pretty impressive. But also going to show, of course, the consistency of the Hilton Head program, doing it year after year, and it seems like they're always right there. And Joe Monmonier is such a huge reason for that.
Well, the other thing he's done over the last couple of years is help build, some new buildings to strengthen the athletic programs as well. Yes. Including that building they have towards the back of the campus, the Hilton Head High School campus that I got
that little field house.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely beautiful. 100, just a really, really cool building. And he did so many things. He took them into the next step, took them to look towards the future. And I think, I think whoever takes over as the next AD is going to be in really good hands because of what Joe did over his 13 years there as the AD.
Yeah, man, it'd sure be nice to have him to
when I think of Hilton High, there are so many people that I remember have made such big impacts, but there are 2 in particular around the last 10, 15 years, or even prior to that, the last 20 years or so. Ron Costello, Joe Monmonier. I feel like those 2, what they have done in different ways, those 2 have really been the heartbeat of Hilton High athletics for the last couple of decades.
No doubt. I love Ron Costello. I have so many great memories of sitting in that press box with Ron Costello for Low Country Heat games and Hilton Head High games, and hearing him say Socrates and Wacamole. Yeah, he couldn't say some of them town names. Socrates was my favorite, but in more positive news, they have cleared the hurdle. USCB got the call this week.
Yes,
they are officially members of NCAA Division II. No more stipulations, no more restrictions.
It's go time.
Full go. They can compete for national championships. Now
baby.
It's time to get them on that level.
It's go time, baby.
The programs
this is the real
men's golf team is right there now. They won a Peach Belt title here.
Yeah.
Hey, watch out for the basketball programs too, man. They're heating up, and they're going to be
I can't wait as just going in that meeting a couple weeks ago and hearing the plans for that potential or eventual new arena that they are building
and
for
baseball and softball fields too,
baseball and softball.
Yes.
So this is the time where
Great.
you really want to see
Great setup.
improvements as we go towards that expected date, and you'd love to see as many teams as possible competing for a spot in the NCAA tournaments. I mean, that's got to be the goal for a good amount of those squads, and I think that I think men's basketball is right there. I think they have a great shot of getting to the dance this next year, and I think that women's basketball team isn't too far behind. I think Coach Versup's done a great job, and Courtney Campbell coming in alongside a nucleus, I think should be a lot better. And if they stay healthy, I think they're going to be dangerous. So this year, now they did, transfer portal taketh and giveth away. So we'll see how things stand as we get into October and November. But there's a lot to be excited about, and women's soccer season starting in a couple of months. And I'm excited to see what that team will look like with a new head coach at the helm and with a good track record these last few years. So that should be exciting. And then baseball and softball, especially the softball team, which I think
team. I was about to say,
although they did lose, they're going to lose a good amount of players from that team last year.
They are. They're going to be young, but I have high hopes for them, especially now because, being a fully fledged NCAA, Division II member, I think really heightens, recruitment levels for USCB now that they are fully fledged. People are going to look at them.
Just can't be more proud right now of Quinn Monahan and Gina Mopford and that entire staff. What a tremendous job that they have done to get this institution to finally over that finish line and becoming full Division II members. What a great day to be a Sand Shark, and counting down the days towards what will be a monumental year in 25-26 for the Sand Sharks.
I want to give a quick shout out.
I personally think it was Jean Ralphio who brought it home, the little doggo.
Okay.
Go ahead, Marcus.
I want to give a quick shout out to Jessa Jeremiah, Joe Keith, and Lauren Smiley of the crew that I work with over at WHHI. I was on vacation in Ohio during that meeting and whatnot. I'm really glad, and certainly Lisa Richardson for setting it up on our news team. I was really glad that they were able to get out there and get coverage of the proceedings there. And huge news and great news, because USCB definitely deserves what is coming up for them. They've been able to do a bunch over the last many years. Again, going back, talking especially on the baseball side. Again, I'll just quickly relay the story that my brother almost moved here before I did, because he looked at USCB for baseball when he was looking at schools. And so just the fact that they're finally starting to get a little bit more of the recognition with the facilities that are definitely needed and definitely deserving. It's great for them, and I think it's going to be a great thing for the school and certainly the community. So, kudos and great work for everybody involved.
Dude.
Amen. Ooh, Yankees put it on the Cubbies tonight, 11-0.
3-3
Bellinger with 3 home
Cards
runs
and
in that
Sox.
Oh, of course. All right. Well, last round of sponsors, and then we'll do our parting thoughts and get on out of here. Base Hit Life has great styles for the diamond. If you want baseball and softball themed apparel and you want to live your best base hit life out there at the ballpark this season, go to basehitlife.com. Dr. Ambrose Coles, our official chiropractor. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Reverence Wrestling Club, our official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. And we got some Lowco kids up in Fargo this week, so we'll be keeping tabs on how they fare. My niece up there as well from Kansas. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country, getting your floors so clean your feet will thank you. And Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. All right, parting thoughts, gentlemen. And Marcus, you're up first.
All right, I'll make it quick. A couple of quick things. The Celebration of Life, as they're calling it, for Joe Monmonier is Monday night, on the football field, 7-9. If you haven't seen the Facebook or social media posts, attire is Hilton Head based or purple. We all know that Joe loved his Baltimore Ravens, so I'll be in my dark WHHI golf shirt. I definitely will be attending that for sure. There need to be more guys like Joe Monmonier in the world for sure. Again, he was busy. He was, driven, tunnel vision, but he had nothing but great things to say to everybody that came across his path. And Godspeed and rest in peace and power, Joe, for sure. Looking forward to celebrating his life Monday night. And another celebration is taking place this weekend in Chicago. The Cleveland Guardians won 4-2 in game one of the doubleheader due to the rain out yesterday. The streak is over, thank goodness. That's another thing to celebrate. They've now won 4 in a row after losing 10 in a row. They're tied at 3 with Chicago in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Eric Zabrowski's on the bump for the Cleveland Guardians after 5+ innings for Gavin Williams tonight. And this weekend as well, they are also celebrating. That's right. They're also I didn't wear this shirt for nothing. They're also celebrating the 20th anniversary of the 2005 World Series team in Chicago.
Yeah, Scotty Pods.
Again, we've seen the view of the Pope back well before he was the Pope being at one of those games. So a huge weekend, especially on the south side of Chicago, and too bad that Bobby Jenks isn't there to celebrate for sure. Rest in peace, Bobby Jenks, one of the great closers of our time. Talking about all 4 of us around the same age within a decade or so. 44 years old, and he was
had that one crazy season where he was just lights out. Yeah.
Absolutely. Mark Burley had a great play in his career, the big flip off balance against Cleveland on opening day of all teams. Back in 2010, off balance, flipped to first. Goodness gracious. So congrats to the Sox. And it was. And great memories this weekend for them.
The 2005 team was tremendous. So that was
Scotty Pods.
Yep.
People forget how good the Cleveland Indians were in 2005, and they went on a rampage towards the end of the year. About the last week, they lost control of it, but it was the Indians and the White Sox neck and neck. And I think if Cleveland could have just gotten over that hump there at the last week of the year, it very well could have been them making a run at the World Series that season. That was just how good that Chicago White Sox team was in 2005.
Yeah, then they ran to the Red Sox in 2007. And
Max or Raj, you got a parting thought?
Obviously, condolences to Joe and his family. It's a very tragic thing to deal with. Especially when it kind of comes out of nowhere and just hits you immediately. It's very difficult. So my condolences to Joe's family for what is going to be a really tough time for them for the next few months or so. My condolences. The other thing I wanted to say, I keep laughing at this every time I see it. The Atlanta Braves, for the 7th time in less than 4 years, have recalled and have added Jesse Chavez to the roster again.
I love Jesse Chavez.
He's so great.
I loved him with the Cubs.
He's so great. I love Jesse. But the 7th time they keep letting him go, he keeps coming back. It's just
when I think I'm out, you keep pulling me back.
He's not young either. He's in his 40s, if I'm not mistaken.
He's getting up there.
He's getting up there in age, but they keep bringing him back, hoping because every time they bring him back, he usually does fantastic.
He's tough. He's a bulldog.
He's a good pitcher. He's a great.
Kind of reminds me of Bartolo Colon a little bit in the sense of just look, man, whatever I got, I'm throwing it at you, and I'm daring you to hit it.
They'll love me some Bartolo Colon too, seamer, man.
Me too. Well,
Wes Kerr, parting thoughts.
It's pretty big news that I don't think we mentioned on this show, but Carnell Warren is no longer a free agent.
Committed.
He's committed.
Yeah.
He's a Tar Heel.
Tar
Heel.
It's the North Carolina Tar Heels with Bill Belichick.
He's a Belichick boy.
Yep. Who would have put that on their bingo card 5 years ago? That you'd have a Bluffton football player playing for
Not
Bill
this
Belichick
guy.
in
Bill
University of North
Belichick.
Carolina.
Do we think Bill Belichick gets through the season?
I think he does.
Probably say so.
I
I
assume it depends on how.
I think he
maybe
might
just
come up
one.
with some
really
kind
don't
of
think there'll be a
health
train wreck. I
down
think they have
mid-season and hand it
I
off
don't
to
think
his
they'll
son.
be a playoff team, but I think they'll be decent this year.
It's a good point.
I would agree with
I
that.
just wonder how long he's gonna want to put up with it. And the idea is definitely to hand it off to his kid at some point. So,
Yeah, but it's
some
whether
point
or
he'll
not.
just say-
3 years.
whether
I
or
think it'll
not.
be more than 1 year, but not more
We'll
than
see.
that.
The question I think would be at that point would be whether or not his kid is ready for that.
I don't think he cares. He thinks he is. So.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But
and Steve's been in coaching before, as
yeah.
well. All those years with him in New England, so especially too. And this is one of the things that I think you mentioned, JJ, that I had no idea of, was the fact that this is a family legacy with
Right.
Bill's dad coaching there,
Yeah.
as well as, was it Navy that he
Yeah.
coached?
Yeah.
So I think that obviously has a lot to do with it. I think that has a lot to do with it just being the move that he made, because it kind of came out of left field there at first. I could see Bill hanging around for a year or two, maybe even a couple more than that. But I don't see this being
I just can't see him having a lot of patience for that environment.
One more.
Maybe he'll have himself plenty isolated from it. Go ahead, Wes.
Hey, Gronkowski.
Yeah. But he did it again tonight. Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, he did it.
Grand slam, 38 home runs, and we're not the All-Star break yet.
Insane.
In fact,
nuts.
he is one homer away from tying Barry Bonds for the most home runs ever in the first half of Major League Baseball season.
Really?
He's a catcher.
He's on pace. He's on. If he keeps
away,
going,
they still have a couple of games left. At least
He's a switch hitting catcher.
Yeah, that's nuts. But the craziest part is he's on pace. If he keeps going like this, he's on pace to beat Barry Bonds' record.
Yeah, but
I know the second half awaits, but still, can you imagine if that does come into play?
One thing
probably won't get intentionally walked as much as Barry Bonds did. So
no, that's a very good point.
Favor.
That's a good point.
That's one thing in his favor.
Dude's on a tear.
No, Big Dumper's having a historic year.
I tell you what, I can't wait to see him at the home run derby. That's gonna be
I was just gonna say that. One thing
I hope it doesn't break him. Don't break him.
Yes,
I know.
That is a big thing to keep in mind, is that hitters that typically do really well in the home run derby, let alone win it, they struggle in the second half.
So would you rather see like a first round exit
in mind?
Raleigh in the derby, or
yeah, I worry about it, man. I really do. I think it messes up your swing, because you start just tinkering with that launch angle a little bit, and then it's hard to get it back on track. But we'll
I
see.
would say
it's fun to watch them launch home runs, though.
Yeah. The other thing I would say regarding the home run derby is Ronald Acuna Jr. has been replaced for the home run derby by Matt Olson. Apparently, he's not going to participate in the home run derby, but he will be starting in the All-Star game. I'm not sure what that's about, but whatever.
No, it's too bad. It's not the same. You don't have a player from the home team in the derby. So.
I do have one
Olsen's
other piece of news.
So.
Oh wait, okay, true. Yeah. He's a Brave, so they still have a. That's good. That's
well, Olsen hits beautiful, majestic left-handed home runs.
Yeah, he is really is one of the more beautiful home runs to watch.
He hit some in the chop house too, which is fun.
Speaking of baseball, I do have one other piece of news, local wise. I do have information regarding the Dixie Boys tournaments.
Right,
Beaufort County. It's not good, and it sounds like the weather delays did not help them whatsoever. Because both the 13U and the 14U finished their tournaments this week at 0-2 for both teams, which very, very shocking, very surprising. But nonetheless, there is still a chance for the 13U team to head to the World Series, which is wildly like crazy to think about.
They could be 0-2 and go to the World Series.
Go to the World
That's
Series
crazy.
just because it's a best of 3 series, and there was only 2 teams out of South Carolina. So that's crazy to think about. But
it was Louisville that took down the 13U. They beat them 5-4 and 9-1, and then the 14s lost to Casey West Columbia 7-2 and lost to Bamberg 10-3. So
that news reminds me a lot of the Hilton Head Prep 0-10 season making the playoffs a few years ago.
Oh God,
and then forfeiting.
You know, I knew some of the kids because I used to do youth group with some of the kids from that 0-10 prep team, and when I found out that they had forfeited, I was like, "Dude, what happened, man?" He was like, "Yeah, we couldn't be bothered to play in the playoffs.
We're not going to go play PD." They'd already played them and lost like 45-0 with the running clock. Like,
I was stunned.
Christian the week before the week before that first round of the playoffs were supposed to start, Hilton Head Christian smoked them. So that at that point they were just like, "Nah, we're done."
I was there, and all of a sudden Larry Giacomo was telling me Hilton Head Prep got in the playoffs. I'm like, what?
That was the damnedest scheduling I've ever seen. There were 9 teams in Skeeza, whatever that was that year.
Yeah.
3A, I guess.
3A.
And
it would have been 2A.
What?
Possibly.
I think it was 3A then.
I think it was 3.
And they didn't play a balanced schedule, though. And then so Hilton Head Prep and Northwood never played each other, and they both went winless. And then they didn't know who to put in the playoffs because they had to put 8 out of 9 in there.
Oh, my gosh.
That was
Hilton Head Prep's much better this year, though.
Here's a parting thought for you from Jake Parkey, who said this very early on in the show. Just wanted to pop in and say that Bluffton has the best wide receiver core in the state. Hard to argue. I'm sure there's some in the 5A ranks that have some, Somerville and Rock Hills, and some of them been hitting the transfer portal pretty hard. But
Dutch Ford,
but Carnell Warren, Amari Patterson, Lucas Gates, Roman Benjamin, and then I'd say you throw Tyler Wolf in there too.
Tyler Wolf, yeah.
That's a pretty sick
core. That's a core. That's a strong core.
And they got a dude who can run it, and they got a dude who can throw it.
I think I would go one better than that statement. I would say they might have one of the best wide receiver cores in the 4A division. I think. I think they could have one of the best wide receiver cores in the 4A.
That's probably fair. There's probably someone in 5A that's got a better one.
Maybe, I bet you. I was looking at who was I looking at?
But only because of the depth on the back end. Maybe they might have 3.
5A. 5A is just 5A is on another level, dude. Some of those schools in the 5A division are just
especially now with the transfer portal open.
Yeah, man. But some of those teams, some of those 5A teams have played teams from out of state. Like I remember years ago, Dutch Fork played Allen High School out of Texas, and the quarterback at that time for Allen High School was Kyler Murray. You know, like that. That's like, and it was a 58-53 football game. I mean, that's like the level some of these 5A schools can play at.
Well, and that's what it'll probably take to get Bluffton out of the playoffs again is somebody like Richland Northeast beating them.
Because not only
52 or whatever.
Well, yeah, but not only do you have a wide receiver core, you got Cordell Holly,
right?
Running back position, and you got a quarterback in McCarthy.
The big question is, will they be able to stop anybody?
Yeah.
Because I think
they'll be able to outscore most people.
I think their defense can be strong this year too. Like I don't think they lost a whole lot of defense.
I think it's going to take a bit of a step back myself. They have lost a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I think they got people who can take those spots. I know those are some big shoes to fill on some of the defensive spots from last season, but I have a feeling their defense, like I wouldn't say they're going to be a great defense, but I'm not going to say that they're going to be a bad defense. I still think they're going to be a solid defense. But like you said, I think there are going to be cases where you're going to need to outscore some opponents. Yeah, possibly Hampton.
Well, they only lost 3 of their top 10 tacklers to graduation, so that
might be interesting,
encouraging. That's encouraging. I don't know what they have coming up from the.
I think they got a strong.
The Doyle kid's really good in the middle. Saunders is a really good linebacker. Gordon's really solid linebacker.
I mean, they got a good secondary too. I don't think their secondary is going to be super weak either.
No, they did graduate some back there. They graduated Tollefson and Jeffries and Chambers.
Right.
So they have some rebuilding to do back there. But
you still got
Gates was really solid.
Yeah, I mean, they still got Lucas Gates back there as well.
Yeah, that's the one big one that returns. But I'm sure they have guys waiting in the wings that they're ready to develop.
Well, that's the other thing, especially
looks like a fun team.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch that team this year. I'll tell you what, I might have to make the trip to Hampton County for that game between Bluffton and Hampton this year. I think it could be a really good game between those two. I really do.
Bluffton at Hampton on September 12th, and then Hilton Head at Hampton the week after.
On the 18th.
Yeah.
Yep. If there was one team you could watch every week, is it Bluffton? Is it Hampton?
I think Hilton Christian.
One team I could watch every week. It might have to be. It might be Bluffton.
Well, I will say that I'm excited to see Hilton Christian this year as well.
Well, that would be the other team because I do think
they're going to be fun.
They were a younger team last year. I think they're a more experienced team this year in Hilton Head Christian.
Mm-hmm.
They might have a chance this year, although they do have to open up on the road at Porter Gaud, which we know how that went last year. Although it was a close one in the first half.
That's exactly the point. You want to see what your team still has to do to get in there. That's why you go out and play Porter Gaud week 0. I mean, that's or week -1.
It's a good challenge to start off for them. I think, and I think they do have a team with enough quality to make a run at a state title this year.
By the way, I do have one more parting thought because we are a week away from the Low Country Legacy basketball tournament coming up.
Amen. Sure are. And the Low Country Student Athlete Experience. Check that out on the 18th. Going to be a lot of great resources for student athletes who are prospective college student athletes and want to learn the ropes on what all you need to be doing and thinking about to prepare yourself for that. So we'll get our friend Alex Percival on this week to talk about that again. I will be commuting to Columbia for teacher school again next week, but I should be home in time to pull off a couple of shows next week. So we're barreling toward football season, boys. We're getting to work on preview material, starting to collect it, looking for info from coaches and preparing for another season of high school football here in the Lowco. But lots of news to tell you about tonight. We talked with Joe Naughton from the 8U Bluffton Girls Softball All-Stars, headed to Tioga, Louisiana this week for the World Series. We wish them well. We remembered our friend Joe Monmonier, who certainly we will not forget anytime soon. And it's going to be emotional, every time that you go over to Hilton Head High and he's not there for quite some time.
He said not to see him at games, not see him at signings, not see him in the hallways, but certainly has left a lasting impact on the school, Low Country, and this community. So
I think I definitely think during the football season they're definitely going to be doing something to honor him.
Oh, for sure. Well, and I'm sure he'll go into the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
That's a good point.
I would hope immediately. You should just bypass any kind of
first ballot
waiting period and put him in right away. But and we also told you about USCB, the big news, moving to D2 officially. All the training wheels are off now, and a few other things. We splashed all kinds of news in there at the end for you. So great show tonight, boys. It's been fun. Thanks to all of our sponsors, especially the OGs, Mickelson Law Firm, our official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. Thanks to all of you viewers for showing up to listen or watch. And to my wingmen, you're the best. Marcus Walsh, Max Araj, and Wes Kerr. I'm Justin Jarrett. Until next time, go Loco.
The Loco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.